It's December of 1883, and the prominent families of Jacksonville are putting on a magnificent Christmas ball in the mostly completed new County Courthouse. Listen in as the excited members of the various committees chat about all the comings and the goings.
I am so excited that we filled this ballroom. My husband, Mr. Muller, who is on the invitation committee, said that every important person in Jacksonville bought a ticket for tonight's festivities. And Mr. Birdsey, the doorman, has been busy all evening welcoming everyone to this gala to celebrate the opening of our beautiful new Jackson County Courthouse. Isn't it the grandest building? And the ballroom is 6,000 square feet.
Yes, Mrs. Muller, isn't it wonderful? Even though a ticket costs $3, kind of high, our supper is included. You know, I was on the soliciting committee, and we worked hard raising money from all the businesses in Jacksonville. This money paid for the ballroom, the orchestra, and all these grand decorations.
Good evening, Mrs. Muller, Mrs. Kubli, Mrs. Bilger.
Good evening, Miss Britt.
You look so pretty, Mollie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Mrs. Kubli, I agree with what you were saying. All the committees worked so hard to make this a never-to-be-forgotten event in this splendid, beautiful new building. I was on the supper committee, and we put together 88 courses for supper at midnight.
Oh, Mrs. Bilger, 88 courses? Supper at midnight will be a feast.
We will have a magnificent buffet. We even got fresh oysters from the coast for the stuffing for the turkey. And, of course, there will be smoked venison and ham and beef and rabbit. And, of course, we roasted a pig. Here's the menu. We're going to have mashed potatoes, turnips, cauliflower, sweet potatoes, and we have French and Spanish pickles, sweet pickled grapes and beets. And, oh, the desserts. Christmas plum pudding, cheesecakes, peach pie, lady fingers, almond and hickory nut macaroons, minced pies with pecan butter sauce, apple fritters, pecan pie.
Oh, Mollie, this room is decorated splendidly. It is a thing of beauty. You were on the decorating committee, weren't you?
Yes, Mrs. Kubli. It was so much fun. We made it a wonderland. Look at all the evergreen branches covered with tinsel and ribbon. The ladies with their long silk trains are beautiful. And the dancing. You know, in this ballroom, you can have over 200 people dancing at once. I just can't believe Jacksonville is such a beautiful place to have dances.
It sure was a lot of work to build this fine new courthouse. Mr. William Turner, editor of the Sentinel, started to write about the old courthouse several years ago because the situation was so deplorable. The old courthouse looked like a barn, and not even a good-looking barn. It was really a disgrace. A shabby advertisement of our lack of public spirit.
Well, even the grand jury condemned it as insufficient. The city couldn't get it insured because the staircase was too heavy. Why, there were even hospital rooms in the old courthouse building, but Dr. Robinson said they were not fit for patients. It was a ramshackle eyesore that cost only $116 to tear down. But in its place, this magnificent building was constructed.
Well, those folks in Ashland sure didn't want us to build it. They thought they deserved to be the county seat because their population wasn't nearly as rowdy as ours in Jacksonville. But the commissioners ignored them, turned stone deaf to their pleas.
And it was just 6 months ago that the cornerstone was laid. Wasn't that a celebration?
I remember the metal casket that they laid in the cornerstone. People sure put some odd things in it. $20 in Confederate money, 2 shillings in antique Roman coin. Dr. Jackson, our local dentist, even donated an upper set of false teeth.
Oh. And a quart of whiskey, compliments of Mr. Herman Helms. And I remember there were pictures of every president from Washington to Grant, and a newspaper, and a baggage claim for the train from Vicksburg to Canton. And somebody put a medallion of the Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. You know, I just think people put doodads, whatever they had in their pockets or their bags.
Well, I read in the Sentinel that it cost $6,500 just to build the foundation that the cornerstone went in. And all the stone came from Kanaka Flats. You know, it took about 200,000 bricks and 70,000 shingles to finish the building. And in the end, it cost $32,000, which was $2,000 under budget. And I thought that was quite an accomplishment.
Well, I heard that Mr. Marsh, the builder, was heartbroken that the magnificent winding stairs at the front entrance were not finished. He said that they will be a perfect piece of cabinet work in the valley. They are his personal work and particular pride.
The builders made temporary stairs. Along with the unpainted rooms, it makes this ball especially interesting. A novelty, really. You know that this Christmas ball is dedicated to Mr. Marsh for the work that he did on the building and coming in under budget. I understand it was the cheapest building ever erected in Oregon.
Ah, listen to the music. Isn't the orchestra wonderful? You know, it took 3 musicians to put this orchestra together, and one of them was our own Pat Donegan, who's not only the star baseball player, but a wonderful pianist, too.
I see that the floor managers aren't too busy. There are no ill-bred hooligans crashing the party, and no one is behaving rudely. You have to be careful about that, especially around this punch bowl.
I should go look for my escort. We're going to go get supper. I can't wait to taste the chiffon cake. My father, Mr. Peter Britt, warned me that if I had a wedge of this cake, I'd better hold it down with a finger, or otherwise it will float up to the top of this 20-foot ceiling.
Oh, well, that won't happen. But it is about the lightest cake I ever tasted. I'm going to go find Mr. Bilger now. I want to dance to this wonderful orchestra.
I think I see Mr. Muller over there talking to Judge Hannah and Mr. Noonan. I think I'm going to join them. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
In April 1884, 4 months following our never-to-be-forgotten Christmas ball, the lowest blow of all hit Jacksonville. The railroad was completed through Medford, not Jacksonville. This beautiful building did continue to serve as the Jackson County Courthouse for over 40 years. But over these years, businesses and even schools left Jacksonville for Medford, which became the biggest and most important city in southern Oregon, and in 1927, the county seat. It was soon to become clear to the esteemed citizens of Jacksonville, most of whom attended our Christmas ball, that the dominance of Jacksonville as one of the most important and wealthy cities in Oregon was ending.